successful daughters. My oldest daughter is a pediatrician, Texas A&M graduate, Gig'em. Yes. And our second daughter is an attorney, Texas A&M grad, Gig'em. Yeah, I love it. All right, I got someone that's gonna love on me today. But let me give you a couple things. Let's get started. Let me talk about my flowers and my Coach Dave story. My spiritually Coach Dave story. He's sitting there just waiting for this. With bated breath, he's waiting. This is what I'm going to do. I guarantee you, men and women, that I'm going to share something with you today that you can apply today. Everyone say today.
Today.
But this is what I don't want you to do. I want you to avoid this most terrible language or this most terrible phrase in the English language. And it is, I have heard that before. And some of you may have said that. I've been in a conference and I've been in workshops and I have heard that before. Well, my question to you, this is what I want you to do. Even though you have heard that before, my question to you, and I want you to ask this question in your mind, how well are you applying it to your life? Amen. That takes on a different twist, doesn't it? That opens you up to listen again for multiple perspectives. Because I am not going to share anything with you today that you have not heard before.
Amen.
That I guarantee. But I do guarantee that you can apply what you hear today to your life today. That's my guarantee. And I want you to be open-minded and not be locked in. I've heard that before, because that prepares you to start not listening. So if you have that smartphone or that tablet or that notepad, I would love for you to take it out and start writing some notes. School time just started. Thank you, Coach. We got a couple of educators here. How many educators do I have in the room? Absolutely. So you know, let's take some notes. Okay. But listen attentively. Okay. I want to read an excerpt from a book, from a workshop that I do seminars on. I want to read this, and I want you to listen attentively. There's a few words that I want to share with you, so I'm going to read it directly, so it's going to be a direct quote. And I'll share with you why I'm using this particular phrase, because it goes into what about the flowers and the thought process. A man's mind may be likened to a garden, which may be intelligently cultivated, allowed to run wild. But whether cultivated or neglected, it must and will bring forth. If no useful seeds are put into it, then an abundance of useless seeds will fall therein and will continue to produce their kind. Just as a gardener cultivates his plot, keeping it free from weeds, and growing the flowers and fruits which he requires, so may a man tend the garden of his mind, weeding out all the wrong, useless, and impure thoughts, and cultivating toward perfection and flowers and fruits of right, useful, pure thoughts. By pursuing this process, a man sooner or later discovers that he is the master gardener of his soul. He also reveals within himself the laws of thought and understanding with ever-increasing accuracy how the thought forces and minded elements operate in shaping of his character, his circumstances, and destiny. Let me read that last sentence one more time. He also reveals within himself the laws of thought and understanding with ever-increasing accuracy how the thought forces and mind elements operate in shaping of his character, circumstances, destiny for the future. Everything about us comes out of our thoughts. Everything about who we are today is relevant to my thoughts. I'm going to share with you about the power of words and how those words are manifested through our thoughts. You ever heard this say, he just had a slip of the tongue? You ever heard that before?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not really a slip of the tongue, because that's primarily something that's been breeding and growing through what? Thoughts. Because what's in you will eventually do what? Come out of you. Through thoughts. It's no slip of the tongue. It's something that's been growing and growing and growing and growing, and all of a sudden it manifests itself. And we'll say, oh, can't take that back. That's not the slip of the tongue. That is a breaded and watered and cultivated thought. And now the moment for it to bear fruit, there it is. Powerful, powerful. Bear fruit. Guess what? I went to the store today, and guess what I found? Farmer's Almanac. I have not seen a Farmer's Almanac since I was a little boy. And in this Farmer's Almanac, don't it tell you when to plant?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
When it tells you when to plant, when to cultivate? In this Farmer's Almanac. My mother used to read this to my father, because my father couldn't read and write. And he would plant based on the information coming from this Farmer's Almanac. And so I got this for a reason, because I'm going to use some of the excerpts to add to my book. I'm writing about a book about my father, the value of the X, because he signed my birth certificate with the letter X. And that has a significant impact on my life. That basically was a trajectory that changed part of my focus on literacy today. But this is what God tells us. God tells us in Ephesians, many scriptures support this, that his words and the tongue has what? Incredible power. Mm-hmm. But before you say those words, they are manifested and harvested by what? Thought. Mm-hmm. What are you thinking? What thoughts are you allowed to grow in your thought process? Because you can weed those thoughts out, or you can cultivate positive thoughts. But there's no such thing as a slip of the tongue. And we've heard that. I've used that before as well. Well, I got angry and I had to say that. No, I got angry, and that was in me did what? Come out. It come out. And Coach Day is going to share some things about Coach Day and about Coach Day's story here very quickly. But our tongues are the most powerful, And through hope and through the Holy Spirit, we can control that tongue. And God wants us to do what? God wants us, according to Ephesians 4:29, don't let any unwholesome talk come out of our mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. Coach Day. My Coach Day story. Coach Day, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, but only which is helpful for building others up. For lots and lots of years, Coach Reggie Day has built others up based on their needs, because we were listening. And I am so thankful that he was using wholesome words and I was listening. Let me give you some insight how we connected. About 3 or 4 years ago, I was at Texas AT&T Stadium at a college high school state championship football game. You know, the Bulldogs have won. I know you guys follow college high school football. We have won a lot of state championships. And I ran into Coach Dennis Smith. And Coach Day knows Dennis Smith, former basketball coach at college high school. 3 to 4 years ago, maybe 5, I'm not sure exactly. And I said, Coach Smith, it's good to see you. But where is Coach Day? That was my words. Where is Coach Day? Because Coach Day is in my spirit. He's in my thoughts. And Coach Smith said, well, I think he's in Minneota. Not sure. But I didn't follow up with that. I did not. Let it go. That moment. But he never left. He never left my spirit. Fast forward to October 2019, I go to Allen Eagle football game. I live in Allen, Texas, and Allen had won a few state championships as well. And I ran into Pat Browning, gentleman's right here next to Coach Day. And we were talking because we have a mutual friend, Pat and I do, Coach Carl Bailey, who was radio announcing for the game. So I walked up, and Pat and I were talking, and I said, Pat, what is Coach Reggie Day? And Pat said, well, Jeff, in his Texas Southern drawl, Jeffrey, he calls me Jeffrey. Jeffrey, I think he's pastoring a church in Mineola. Okay, so I go back to watching the game, and next thing, by the way, I think I have his phone number in my cell phone. So I go back to watching the game, and next thing I know, Pat's on the phone talking to Reggie Day. And I said, Jeff, he's on the phone. So he hands me the phone, and I introduce it, Coach Day. This is Jeffrey Willie. Who? Yeah, who? We're talking 46 years. The answer would be, I would ask the same question, wouldn't you? Who? I said, well, Coach, you coached me in track the second semester of the 73-74 school year. I only saw him one semester. I didn't see him the first semester because I wasn't in track. And so we exchanged contact information, and I said, Coach, I need to come and give you your flowers while you're alive. Hung up the phone, went about our way. Fast forward to a couple of weeks ago. Called Coach Day up. I said, I need to come to your church and share with your congregation the impact you had on my life in 1974 for about 3 or 4 months running track for Coach Day. Now, I mentioned to Coach Day that my 11th and 12th grade year, I had a track coach. It wasn't Coach Day. I have no idea who that person is. I can't remember. I can see a face, but I don't remember his name. But I remember Coach Reggie Day. And so I said, Coach, I need to come and give you your flowers while you're alive. Coach paused, and then he shared this story with me. And this is what he said. Jeffrey, I was at this funeral one time, and this preacher got up, and there's a casket down there, and this preacher got up to do the eulogy, and there's all these flowers around this casket. And the preacher said, boy, don't these flowers smell good. Man, such aroma in this church. And who are these flowers for? Because the gentleman in the casket can't smell these flowers, can't see these flowers. And we don't say, the question that came out of that, are you giving folks the flowers in your life while they're still living? Amen. That came out of that, and I said that you could sense the pause, and that resonated with Coach Day because he remembered that. I said, well, Coach, I want to make sure that I come and give you your flowers when you are alive. And that's why I'm here today, to give Coach Day the flowers when he is alive. There's 3 men in my life. My father, that resonated with me. My father gave me the opportunity. He said, you can dream, boy, even though he was not dreaming. But he said, you can dream. Growing up in rural East Texas, where segregation was very prevalent, but he still gave me the sense of hope and dreaming. Taught me to love people, regardless of their background, their culture, their color, their skin. My father shared that with me. And then now I'm in high school or in middle school, and then there's C.G. Bowie, my band director. Our band director, Mr. Bowie, became my safe haven because we lived in the country and I couldn't come home on the weekend because I had no way to get to the country to get home. So Mr. Bowie gave me safe haven. His son ran track with Coach Day and I, and Mr. Bowie gave us a center of refuge. And then come Reggie Day. 3 men when I was growing up. My father, C.G. Bowie, and Reggie Day. And I had Reggie Day for 1 semester. The track. Here we are in track. And I'm come from the country, so I'm used to working hard. Go do it, I ran hard. We run in 3:30s,
for practice, that's 300 meters now, but back then it was 330 yards, back in the early 70s. And I would run track and practice hard, and Coach Dave would tell the other track members who were slacking off, go catch up with Jeff Willie. He got tired of saying Jeff Willie, and guess what he started calling me? And he don't remember, but I remember he started calling me JW. And so throughout my whole track year, for the rest of the school year, my own brother-in-laws to this day still call me JW because he gave me that name. Go catch up with JW. He would be fussing at the other boys because I was outrunning them in practice and they were being lazy. And here we are at a mile relay. He put me in the third leg of the mile relay my 10th grade year. And I never ran the open 400, never ran the 4 and 40 yards before, never been on a mile relay, not even in 8th and 9th grade. Coach Dave put me on that third leg. Coach always checking on split time, and when Coach saw my split time, he said, JW, man, you got a very good split time. I think you need to run the open 440. 400 meters now, 440. But what he was doing, he was planting a seed of expectations. He was planting the seed that you can. He was planting the seed that you can do more. I see the greatness in you. And Coach Day started seeing not only the athleticism, but he also started seeing the character because of my work ethic. And so he put me in the open 440, 400 now, and I did okay. I wasn't very competitive as a 10th grader, but we'd go to Northwestern University in Natchitoches, Louisiana, an indoor track meet. I believe you from Louisiana, Coach Day. And I attended that track meet as a 10th grader. And Verlin Smith, the 60 meter guy, didn't show up. For those who know, matter of fact, I found Coach Verlin Smith on Facebook. Verlin Smith didn't show up, and Coach Day said, JW, get in there, boy, you can do this. That sounds like him, doesn't it? Get in there, boy, you can do this. And so guess what I decided? I ran the 660 meters. I didn't finish very well, but I did okay. Because I didn't know how to come out of the blocks because I was not a sprinter. And so I had to just to come out of the blocks, but Coach Day gave me the opportunity. And that's what the adults in your life do. They set the expectations and they give you the opportunity. Is that spiritually? Is that scripturally? You bet it is, because God said, I'm giving you what? An opportunity. I have high expectations for you, son. And Coach Day did that for me. I don't remember my 10th and 11th grade track coach, but I remember Coach Reggie Day. Fast forward to all these years. And Coach Day's words are from Proverbs 18:4. A person's words can give life-giving water. Words of true wisdom as refreshing as a bubbling brook. True wisdom leads to long-term life. And here we are, 46 years later, 55 years of marriage, 50 years of marriage, 43 years of marriage, not seen him in 46 years, and fast forward, his words is still resonating, because what you speak today, you're not speaking to today, you're speaking to the future. Amen. You are speaking to the future. You are speaking to the lives of multiple generations when you speak into those lives. So when he spoke into my life as a 16-year-old, 15-year-old in the 10th grade, he wasn't just speaking to me. He was speaking to my future. He was speaking to my future spouse. He was speaking to my daughters. He was speaking to my grandson. Those messages resonate with me, and they go to first and second and third generations. So that's my challenge, that when you speak things into people's lives, it's not about today, it's about the future. Amen. So be careful with your word choice. Be extremely cautious with your word choice. Amen. There's a magazine article that I wrote. I write for Good Life Family Magazine, a magazine out of Plano, Texas. It's called the Good Life Family Magazine. And I wrote an article back a couple years ago, well, not back 2019. Life and death are in the words. And this is a snapshot from that article. In life, you don't get what you want, you get what you expect. The key word is expectations. Your thoughts, your word choice, your nonverbals, your body language determines your expectations. What do you want out of life? Do you want to leave a legacy that you're proud of? A legacy that's carried on by your children and your grandchildren? What do you expect from your children? What are the model behaviors are your children seeing? What are your words speaking into their life? There is life and death in the words. Low expectations from a teacher will cause me to fail a test. Low expectations from my parents will crush my soul. It will kill me. The low expectations from a teacher will just cause me to fail the test. But low expectations from the parent will crush their soul. That's the model behavior. And my story with that low expectations didn't come out of my family. It came from a teacher. It came from a teacher. In the 8th grade, I was labeled as stupid by an 8th grade math teacher. I'm a typical 8th grade kid hanging out with my 8th grade friends. We're in the back of the room playing around as an 8th grade boy will do. And this teacher looked at us and said, "You boys are stupid and you're never going to amount to anything. Do not take algebra in the 9th grade." During that era, my father couldn't read and write. The teacher had a lot of credibility. Not as much so today, but back then, teachers had a significant amount of credibility. And so, what did the teacher say, son? That was the words. So we did not take algebra in the 9th grade. I took algebra in the 10th grade. I was not around my friends that did well. I took geometry in the 12th grade. Didn't do so well. Barely got out of high school. Fast forward to 1994, 1995. This is 8th grade, this is 1975. Fast forward to 1995, 20 years later. My wife had just finished her master's degree. Now, we had made a commitment that once she finished her master's degree, I'd go back and start my degree program. So I enrolled for my associate's degree. I needed one single class to finish my associate's degree, and that one single class is called college algebra. What's speaking to me? I am what? You got it. I enrolled in that class, and all of a sudden, the messages are loud and clear. I'm handicapped psychologically because of that word. Boom. I disenrolled. I can't do it. This is me talking to me. But I was told that in the 8th grade. Mm-hmm. I re-enrolled because I'm raising 2 daughters, trying to be a positive role model for my children. I re-enrolled. Voice still speaking loud and clear. I'm struggling. Disenrolled. Now, I'm sharing this same story with you today, and I'm also sharing this same story with my college students because I'm a college professor now. Been a college professor now almost 18 years. So I re-enrolled the 3rd time. And of course now I got people holding, "Oh yeah, professor, 3rd time is a charm, right?" Man, disenrolled. Lord, I can't do this. It's hard. I go lay in my backyard in Abilene, Texas, and lay out on the pavement and say, "Lord, I need your help. I can't do this." And he said to me, "No, you can't do it. I can do it with you. And I've already sent you the help. You birthed the help. Your wife and I, you birthed the help." I had a daughter who was a math genius, and I was too proud to ask her for what? Help. And so we sit down at the table, and my daughter helped her daddy get a C in algebra. Ooh. And obviously, lack of a better term, the monkey is no longer on my what? Back. And the rest is history. The power of words. They will handicap you. They will jail you or free you. They are a blessing or a curse. Blessings are a curse. So you're not speaking to those same generations. So when I'm talking to teachers, I tell teachers in large groups or small groups, I talk about this blood types. And I'm getting ready to share the close part of this, the blood types. You can name the primary blood types, and they all name the primary blood types. A plus, B plus, A negative, O negative. And then I ask them to do this. We all going to, as a matter of fact, even today, my theme to us today, that we are going to leave out of this church with the same type of blood. We all came in with different blood. And we all carry Jesus' spirit. But I want us to leave here with the same type of blood. Oh, but Jeff, wait a minute, I got O negative. Yeah, I have A positive. But this is what I do. They name the primary 8 types of blood. And then I said, wait, I wonder if some of them, of course, these are teachers. Sometimes they get it right. Sometimes they don't get it right. But at the end of the day, we walk out of the facility and we're going to walk out of the church with the same type of blood. And that blood is B positive.
Amen.
B positive. And that B is B positive. That's the focus. The B positive. The B positive blood. According to the Mayo study, there's a reason to be positive. Let me give you some health reasons. How about a long life? How about a long life for being positive? How about reducing stress in your life? How about boosting your immune system? Fight off infectious. How about a healthy cardiovascular system? How about lower rates of depression? How about brighten up someone's day and brightens up the day? How about increased resiliency and overall physical and mental vigor? And of course, obviously increase your lifespan. Paul, being a prisoner, writing to the Philippians. I also think about Nelson Mandela after all those years of being locked up. Mm-hmm. If he wasn't being positive, he could have not come out of prison and become the first African president of South Africa and forgave all the folks that imprisoned him. And Paul is in prison and writing to the Philippians, and this is what he said. And now, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and in pure and in lovely and admirable. Think about these things that are excellent and worthy of praise. Amen. It challenges me that I can fix my thoughts. I may be receiving a negative thought. I can discard it and fix my thoughts on positive things. Because I shifted from 8th grade being stupid after all those years, and then I ran into Coach Reggie Day and said, Jeff Willard, you can do this. JW, you can do this. And then years down the road, surrounding myself with positive thinkers and like-minded people to grow the legacy. No more illiteracy. I got a chance to speak my first sermon back in 1988. Really, the buck stops here. The illiteracy stops here. No more. The legacy will be literacy, not illiteracy. To change that so when you spoke, and now because of that, we have the doctor, the lawyer, a grandson that's absolutely a genius. He's 5 years old. He's a phenomenal genius. He's an engineering magnet. He's 5. Why? Because of the thoughts, because of the behavior, and because of the expectations that's been set before. Before I close today, we got a couple minutes, but I want to share a couple of books with folks, and I want, if this person is here, I want to come up. I want to bring this person up by the name of Tran McTaggart. Is Tran here? Travis.
He's not here.
He's not here. Okay. I'll give him. Is his parents here? Okay. All right. I may have spelled the name wrong as well, so I got to put it in. Okay. But this book is Sometimes You Win. Okay. Sometimes you win. Sometimes you wrong. Oh no! I got you. Sometimes you win. Sometimes you learn.
Learn. Yes.
Shift the paradigm, didn't it? Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Has to be a lesson, and you learn from those lessons. So I'll make sure that you get that. And the next one is the power of positive leadership. How about Leon Williams? Leon Williams, there we go. Come on up, sir. He's going to lead you to long life because he's very positive. And I'm assuming, Mr. Leon Williams, you're about, what, 50, 51?
Yeah, pretty close.
My last statement to you, and I'm going to sit down and get out of the way. God has tremendously blessed my wife and I. Coach Dave read a few things in my bio. That's just stuff.
Yep.
But my mission is all about people. Those are just things. God opened up doors, allowed me to walk into those doors and do some things to change other people. But let me read you my mission statement so you get this. My mission is to use my God-given talents and abilities to add value to people of all ages, stages, backgrounds, and economic levels to achieve their full human potential through fully developing their minds and their talents. I aim to create opportunities for others through work, service, and family. I also able to balance my work life, people life, and understanding that God, my family, and my friends are priority above all. God, family, and friends in that order. Serving and adding value to people. People are my business. Thank you for having me today.
Amen.